Okay, those drones. We've talked about it so many different times on this channel about what those drones could be, what they are, what we're being told, what we're not being told. I've made it so clear since I started this channel about how mainstream media does help tremendously in getting the word out. People like to disagree with that, but there's a sheep mentality out there, guys. It just is. It's like, oh, well, the news is saying it on the local news that I watch. Well, then we should take it seriously then, because everybody's talking about it now. It's not just the internet that's talking about it. The drones are an example of that. When those drones were being sighted in Jersey and everything else, mainstream media started talking about it. I started hearing conversation about it on people that I talk to that aren't familiar with this subject. And like, as I mentioned, it was on mainstream media shows. I've mentioned 1,000 times over when Saturday Night Live made a joke about it. And then, you know when it really all stopped, when people stopped talking about it? When the administration came out and said, oh, yeah, we know what that is. We said we would find out. It's the FAA. They're doing tests. That's it. And everyone's like, okay, thank you for the food. I'll eat that shit sandwich and just take it down with a glass of water. Thank you. Bye. And that's ultimately what happened. So there's also been tons of reports after that saying, well, it wasn't the FAA. It's not true. No one asked follow-up questions or all those other things. But Ross Couothart, who we've been talking about quite often on this show recently, he has said that he's got a source now that said that there's actually more news concerning those New Jersey drones and what they really are. So I want to play this piece from News Nation. It's about a 2.5-minute piece, maybe 3 minutes, actually. So listen to what Ross says, and then we'll talk about it on the other side. Here it is.
The White House asserts, which is that this was all part, these drone so-called incursions were all part of some FAA-authorized research project and other reasons. Frankly, it doesn't wash. And there's a big stink over it, and it's tempting to say it's all UFOs and the government's trying to cover it up. I do believe some of it was anomalous, and I have a hunch that the United States was putting up technology that it hasn't yet disclosed it's got. There was a certain name given to me. I'm not sure if this is a code name, but somebody mentioned to me, and this didn't come, by the way, at Contact in the Desert. It came from somewhere else. It's got star in it, and I'm not sure if it's dark star, but the suggestion is that there is some national defense program that involves these SUV-sized objects, I'm not going to call them drones, that were being put up. And the explanation might be that what a lot of people have been seeing are the objects that the government's been putting up in an attempt to cloud the picture as to what's really flying over the east coast of the United States and over certain sensitive military bases and over the United Kingdom and over parts of Germany, particularly a naval base. There are still ongoing incursions by unknown objects, some of them doing allegedly anomalous things, some of them changing shape, or at least that's the account given to me by people. I recently spoke to a guy who told me that he was in Oklahoma and he was seeing a takeoff and landing point in a field near Oklahoma City where he saw what looked like a very coordinated, apparently government or some kind of official operation on private land. When he got close, he was chased away by drones and he was terrified. I haven't actually heard back from him since we had our preliminary conversation. And sir, if you are still interested in engaging, I'd like to hear more. I do think there is something going on, that there is an active government operation. I was given a code name that had the name Star in it. It might have been Dark Star. My source wasn't 100% sure. And I don't know any more than that. I do believe that some of these objects are anomalous, and I do think that the White House is being evasive and, how does one say this politely, economical with the truth when it says this was FAA authorized. How could the Transportation Secretary not know about something that was supposedly FAA authorized? We're being lied to, general public. We are being gaslit by the White House, and we're being concealed. Something is being concealed from us. Quite why? Look, I'd like to think the best of government. I really would. We've lived for years in the hope and expectation that the reason why government keeps things secret is for good reasons. I'm increasingly persuaded that the reason why government's keeping the story of what these incursions were and are over New Jersey and much of the United States secret is actually for a lesser reason, which is to cover their butts.
Okay, so these are things that have been rumored, thought about, speculated, and that essentially is, okay, look, this is our technology. This is stuff that we had. I mean, when all this stuff was going on, it's like, well, what is it? It's our technology. It's China. It's this. It's that. And the idea that, okay, this is actually stuff that they're testing out and people are seeing it, and so be it for other things that they're going to eventually launch. I think that the new wrinkle in this is the idea of, well, the reason why they are doing it is to throw distraction on what really is up there. So essentially, hey, they're really showing themselves right now, and people are going to start figuring out what's going on. What do? Do we launch some of our stuff and throw them off the scent? They won't really know the stuff that we've been working on, so they won't really know what it is, and it'll just be kind of a real big mass confusion of what it is. We play dumb. Should we do that? That seems to be kind of what's hinted on here, because there's a lot of different things of some of the shapes that we covered on when all this drone stuff was going on, that there was that one woman who was recording stuff as she was going, and it was not only turning into like orbs, into lights, into like solid objects, and there's just so much more to it. There's just so much more to this story than what we've been told. So on the agreement of what Ross Couothart is saying, we're not being told the truth for sure on this. And as I've mentioned, if people don't keep asking and it's not part of the conversation, to them, it's like, no one's really talking about this. Ross Coulthart's at it again? Okay, great. People on YouTube are talking about it? Okay, whatever. No matter. It's the reason why they addressed it is because everybody started talking about it. And it wasn't just the pockets. It was everybody started talking about it. The more everybody starts to talk about these things in general, that's when they're going to have to address it. They haven't been asked to address it. No one has stepped up in a one of these briefings and said, "Hey, wait a minute. So what about this, and this about these drones? This is reported here. Can you comment on that?" It's never been followed up. Like I said, they just took it. Okay, you guys say it was FAA. We're good. Okay, what's next? That's it. We're more concerned about Trump and Elon fighting each other than they are what's flying around in the skies. Now, the question is going to be this, though, because in 2023, it was the flying over the airbase. In 2024, it was Jersey, other places, but primarily Jersey. Will there be anything this year in this time? And if so, what is it about the end of the year that this happens? Because over Langley, that seemed to be more anomalous. Over Jersey, it seems like there's now a mix, potentially, whatever you might believe, both anomalous and potentially our stuff. Or do you think it's still? There's a lot of people who held strong thinking, no, you know what? This is other governments. That's what this is, and they're being quiet about it. Whatever it is, it stinks. It is easy to buy into the idea that, hey, look, we're not ready to give up information right now. Throw some of our stuff in there that we're working on that is ready to be shown, but that can still be denied. You can see that. I understand where that could come in. Then it comes to, well, it might be, this is the type of stuff, this report in general from Ross Couothart, I applaud, because I say, okay, look, this is something that I think is not right, that the government is holding this type of stuff and giving you BS, and he pretty much says as much. The other thing that he does, Ross, anyway, is, well, I think it's this code name. It's got dark in it, but I'm not sure. Don't bring it up. Don't bring it up. If you don't know what it is for sure, it could be. I mean, but they weren't really sure. Who cares? And don't bring it up. The report itself of what you got here, though, is to me going, okay, I'm with you on this. I'm with you. I think that they're lying about this stuff. I think it's so bizarre that no one's done a follow-up question to this. So who knows? What say you guys? Put your thoughts in there. Again, thank you to UAP James for clipping this one out from News Nation. And that's it. So put your comments in there. Put your thoughts in there. I appreciate you. And we'll see you on the flip side.